I'm going to tell you about it, what it is, who wrote it, what I think about it, whether or not you should read it. Let's get into it. Okay, so here we are on cesletter.org. We're just going to go through it together, and I'm going to show you a little bit of what it's about. I know this can be hard for Mormons because there are a lot of troubling things in church history that are discussed in this letter, and the initial reaction to anti-Mormon literature is bad. We're very conditioned to think very badly about anti-Mormon literature. Well, I'll propose to you that this is not necessarily anti-Mormon literature. What it is actual issues in the history of the church, and many of them, the majority of this, is quotes from General Conference, from prophets, from the Joseph Smith papers, from Oliver Cowdery, from people close and near Joseph Smith, from journals. And it's not just presumptions. There are a lot of really serious issues that the church has answered to, many of them in the Gospel Topics essays on the church website. And I have another video that I'll link to in the card above. And I just want to show this really quick. The volume of people landing on this site, cesletter.org, from July 2020, looks like about just under 20,000. So you got 19,360. And 0 of that was from AdWords. So he's not running ads. It's just organic people that are searching for this. And so people are looking for it. And many are reading it. So the CES letter, what is it? Who wrote it? Well, I told you a little bit about what it is. It's written by a man named Jeremy Runnels. And I'll show you a picture of him right there. Okay. Jeremy Runnels. He grew up in California, and he served a mission, has a young family, has a few kids, and I'll just read this quote right here on the right. He says, "I believe that members and investigators deserve to have all the facts and information on the table to be able to make a fully informed and balanced decision as to whether or not they want to commit their hearts, minds, times, talents, income, and lives to Mormonism." Jeremy T. Runnels. It is a very honest letter about his concerns about how Mormonism came to be, written to a CES director, which is a director over church education. He didn't receive a response, but this is his faith story. And so up here, I'm going to go into, and you can come here. Just recently, the paper book back is available, and I went ahead and grabbed my own copy. It's coming in the mail. But you can also go to the HTML version, and it goes into all the chapters and the different topics there for you. Here's some updates. I did want to point out some of these reviews of the CES letter. Many of these members, in fact, all these members were higher up Mormons, practicing LDS members. Hans H. Mattsson is a former area authority in Sweden. And his quote here is, "Runnels' CES letter presents many historical issues concerning LDS history, which for many members has been a wake-up call. The letter deserves to be read both in and out of the LDS community. Read with an open mind, and you will understand why many members are asking questions." So also, if you're someone who's trying to figure out why other people are asking questions, maybe you have a son or daughter asking questions, or you have questions yourself, we should be allowed to ask questions. In school, often we ask questions. When we're growing up, often we ask questions. So questions aren't the issue here. What many take issue with is people leaving the church over these issues. So know the issues, but also be respectful of anyone who's making decisions about these issues. It's very personal. Grant H. Palmer, author of An Insider's View of Mormon Origins. Great book to read. Jeremy Reynolds' CES Letter is an excellent summary of the foundational problems of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, given the generous amount of time, energy, and money donated to the LDS Church. Members owe it to themselves to take a serious look beyond what is taught in church meetings. I would begin with the CES Letter. Yes, again, this is a good place to start. Gospel Topics essays on the LDS.org site is also good. And this last one, John P. DeLynn, who does have a PhD in psychology, founder of Mormon Stories. Mormon Stories is a wonderful place if you're just getting into this area of Mormons who are still practicing Mormons who have left the church. It creates a dialogue for all of their stories to be heard. Wonderful place to hear, and they're long form 1 to 2 hour podcasts. But yeah, you can find them on mormonstories.org. They also have a YouTube channel, Mormon Stories Podcast. So you can go check John and his stuff out. His quote here, meticulously researched, this book represents Jeremy's sincere, heartfelt, and Herculean effort to gather and discern the basic evidence regarding LDS Church origins. It is an incredible labor of love for truth. Mormon apologists have tried and failed to discredit the CES Letter. If you want to quickly learn the main historical and scientific issues with the LDS Church truth claims, I know of no other resource on the internet or in print that is more accurate, concise, and yet comprehensive. I highly recommend this book. That is kind of what we're looking at here. And the issues I won't go into, I'll go into it on another video. I just wanted to kind of get ahead of people who are trying to do research on this, who are trying to figure out if they want to read it or not. Just getting into why I read the CES Letter. I was honestly terrified to read the CES Letter. I had heard of it, but I was afraid of my faith coming into question. I was afraid of just losing my faith, because if I lost my faith, then what? I didn't even want to have to think about what would happen. And so I got with my wife and I said, hey, I have these questions. I will bottle these up and put these away for you, because I know that it can hurt us. I'll put a card right above with my story in Mormonism and the Mormon Church. And I love my wife. She said, no, we're going to look at this, and hopefully we can get these questions figured out. And so we did. I ended up staying up all night, one night from like 10 till about 7 a.m. reading through all of it. There's many pages. It's just less than 200 pages. And it was heavy for me. It was heavy for my wife. But we got through it. We are now very happy that we made that decision to read it, because when you have questions, you should be able to answer them. Like, what other purpose is there of life besides answering questions and having experiences, learning, growing, and loving from them? That was something that we decided. Now, the question of should you read it is completely personal for you. And one thing that I like to show is this image from the movie Matrix. It's the red pill, blue pill scenario. And you've probably heard of this before if you've been on the internet or if you've seen the movie. The red pill represents a sort of waking up, a sort of being allowed to question and learning a lot of these new things that could be harmful to you, that could be hard to hear, hard truths. And the blue pill is you take it and you wake up tomorrow morning and you don't remember meeting that person. You're kind of not going to be able to go back once you read it and see the issues. It's very hard to unsee them. But a lot of this stuff is backed up by a lot of painstaking research. So take that with as how you will. And again, thank you for being here on this video. Smash the like button so that YouTube knows that I'm here making these videos. I hope they're helpful for you. Post in the comments below of any questions that you may have moving forward. I can make some more videos for you guys. Please share this with anyone that is maybe thinking about reading the CES letter so they can get an idea of what they're getting into. And hopefully that's helpful for you guys. Have a wonderful day. See you next time.